Hi, I'm Yetis Exist, and I created these guides to help new players like yourself get into Melee. I hope that by creating these guides, I will grow the community and get rid of the idea that Melee is too hard for everyone. Today's episode is picking your main and learning how to short hop. So the first thing I want you to do before playing the game is to pick a few characters or think about a few characters that you're interested in playing as your main. Once you've done that, I recommend watching top players play these characters. The best way to understand each character's playstyles is to do this. So for Fox, you could watch Mango, Cody, Leffen, Moki, or etc. For Marth, you can watch Zane or Kadoran. For Falco, there's Mango again or Fiction. For Sheik, you can watch Jmook or Plup. And for Jigglypuff, you can watch Hungrybox, and the list goes on and on and on. Once you have watched top players and decided on a few characters you're interested in, you should go into solo play or play with someone who is new to the game like you are and try to find out how the characters feel. If you are playing with someone, try and spend at least a couple of games on each character before you decide you don't like them or want to change. If you want to pick a top tier character, then I suggest picking one of the top 4 on this list. Obviously, the S tier characters are considered a little better than the A tier characters, but the A tier characters are still very much viable in today's meta. If you want to play a mid tier, then the B plus and B minus are generally considered the mid tier characters. I would argue that the C plus and below are considered low mid or low tiers. Melee is a really unique Smash game in that all the characters feel very different from each other, including the clones. The only 2 characters that feel really similar are like Mario and Dr. Mario, but every other character feels super different to play, and I think this is one of the coolest things about Melee. So now we're going to move on to the next topic, which is the most important tech of the game, and it's different for each character. It's called short hopping. So short hops are extremely useful in Melee. They're useful for doing short hop aerials or shuffles, which is short for short hop fast fall L cancelled aerials. They also help you short hop to ledge or wave dash, and some characters are able to wave land to platforms with their short hops, like Sheik on Yoshi's Story. This is an extremely important tool in Melee, and it is definitely the first thing you want to learn before any other tech. Basically, every character has a different short hop height and speed, and when I say speed, I'm referring to their pre-airborne state, which is also known as a jump squat animation. As you can see on my screen, my controller inputs are on the top, and I'll be using the Y button to short hop. So you can see that I'm short hopping, and I did a full hop there, but I'm short hopping by pressing the Y button extremely quickly, pressing and releasing really fast. So for Fox, you actually need to press and release the button before the 3rd frame. So this is the jump squat animation. I will frame by frame it for you so that you can see every single frame one by one. So this is I will press Y on the 1st frame. This is the 1st frame. So as you see, I'm holding the Y button at the top, and Fox is starting his jump squat animation. If I keep holding it on the 2nd frame, Fox will still be in the jump squat animation, and then this is the 3rd frame. He is still in the jump squat animation. And if I let go of the Y button on the 3rd frame, after the 3rd frame, sorry, then he will actually do a full hop instead. So he will jump up and do a full hop, as you can see, and then he will land. So for Fox and other characters, you have to press and release the jump button within 3 frames, excluding that 3rd frame. So if you're still holding it on the 3rd frame, you'll do a full hop instead. I will put a list of all the characters' jump squats timings. Some have 4 frames, some have 5 frames, some have more than 5 frames. But the fastest one you'll see in Melee is 3 frames. So if you're playing Fox or Pikachu or I think Ice Climbers and some other characters, they all have 3 frame jump squats, which means they have the hardest jump squats to do, which means they have the hardest short hops. A 3 frame jump squat means you have to press and release the button within 3/60ths of a second. And the 4 frame jump squat means you have to do that within 4/60ths of a second. Same for 5 frame and the same for all other number to frame jump squats. You want to practice this tech as much as possible until you can get it really consistent, because short hops they allow you to do so much in this game. Like they allow you to approach with really quick aerials because you don't go too high and you fall. You land earlier, so you can approach with like a shorter aerial instead of like a really high aerial, which takes really long to land. So you really want to learn how to do this. This is probably the most important thing when you're starting the game. Depending on your character, as I said, it will be easier or harder. But don't worry, if it all pays off in the end. If you're playing a character with a harder jump squat like Fox or Pikachu, I would say just like if you're really committed to the character, just push through. Like don't give up on the character. It's gonna take you a while to get the short hops down. For me, it took me a couple of months, and I was practicing very, very frequently, and I still couldn't get the short hops down. I think I was playing Fox from day one, and yeah, it took me a couple months, like maybe 6 months, before I could really like almost always get the short hop, like maybe 90% or plus consistency. So it does take a time, but Melee is a hard game. Anyone can learn it though, as long as you put in the work. So that's all I gotta say. And yeah, here's to hoping you learned something new. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Thank you guys and see you in episode 4.